Hello everybody, good afternoon or good morning. Today we are going to study the hugest group of invertebrates that we could find. This group is going to be called arthropods. Arthropods has the biggest number of species in the whole animal kingdom. So we are talking about an important group of invertebrates here. As you have so many species inside this group is going to be really diverse. So we can find here a mosquito, a cockroach, a lobster, a centipede. You can find here animals that are quite different, but all of them are going to have things in common. That is why they are all inside the same group. We are going to see these characteristics, okay? So the first thing is, what does arthropods mean? This comes from the Greek, okay? So pods, as you know now, from gastropods, cephalopods, right? Pods means feet. Arthro means jointed, articuladas in Spanish, no? Articuladas means that or jointed means that you can move them. So this group, all the species of this group, they are going to have jointed feet. ¿Vale? They are going to have appendix that they are going to use for movement. Good. So as I told you, it's the largest group. It has a lot of species. Then what do they have? They have bilateral symmetry. Think about a lobster, una langosta, no? If you cut the lobster right through the middle, you will have two equal parts, right? But no other cut is going to give you two equal parts of the animal. So this means that they have bilateral symmetry, just like us. If you cut me through half of me, you are going to have two equal parts of my body, just like a lobster, right? So they have this bilateral symmetry. Then they have the body divided in three parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. Some of them, they are going to be fused or joined, thorax and abdomen, right? And others, head and thorax. We will see each of this group, but all of them are going to have these parts. Remember, head, thorax, and abdomen, right? And this would be our appendix. They have, all of them, an exoskeleton. Remember, we have studied this. Endoskeleton is what we have. We have bones inside our body to protect the main organs. They don't have protections inside the body. They have protections outside the body, like an armor, una armadura, okay? So it's really tough, it's really hard. It's made of a polysaccharide called chitin. You don't have to know what is a polysaccharide, okay? Don't worry. But it's made of chitin, which is a very hard substance. But they have a problem, because imagine that you're growing and you have an armor over you. Okay, when you're 5, but when you're 10, the armor is going to be too small for you and you're going to be like trapped. What do? You remove that armor and you get inside a bigger one, right? So they do something similar. They are going to mold, ¿vale? They do molting, hacen mudas, ¿vale? What is that? When the animal is growing, and this exoskeleton of chitin is too small of them, they get rid of it, and then when they grow, they produce another exoskeleton of chitin from the cells of the surface of the animal. They are going to release this substance and they are going to produce the exoskeleton again. And now it's perfect because its size Okay? Understood more or less? Good. Then, as we have said through the name, we have jointed appendages, ¿vale? Tenemos articulaciones, tenemos patas articuladas. We are going to use it as legs to move. Anthony, many organ senses are going to be here, and many of them, for example, many of insects, they are going to have wings to fly. Remember, a fly, a mosquito, I'm sorry, a mosquito, for example, they have wings, right? So they can fly. A butterfly. Habitat. They can live almost everywhere. You can see insects everywhere, right? So they can live in terrestrial, like cockroaches, grasshoppers, thousands, no? Or aquatic. Remember, crustaceans are inside arthropods, so all these shrimps, lobsters, they are going to be inside this group, so many of them are also aquatic. They can be herbivores, but also carnivores. The first group, in fact, that we are going to study, myriapods, they are carnivores. They are great hunters. So they can be both. They can eat plants or they can eat another animals. And they can also even be parasites. We have studied one parasite inside this group. Which one was it? A mosquito. Remember, the mosquito is a parasite, and in fact is a great vector for many illnesses. Okay? So they can be also parasites. Or for example, how do you say that? Piojos. I can't remember the name in English, but piojos, they are also parasites. They feed on our blood, right? Then the first group that we are going to study are myriapods. The other ones are going to be arachnids, that would be spiders and scorpions. Other one would be crustaceans, lobsters, shrimps, all those. And the other one, the biggest group inside arthropods is going to be insects. And we will see that we have plenty of groups inside insects. Okay? The first one that we are going to study, myriapods. Okay? Myriapods are, we include here centipedes, millipedes, millipies. Okay, like have you ever heard about the scolopendra? It's a quite common myriapod here. These animals, they can live in many habitats, but they need humidity. They need damp terrestrial environments. So if you have, for example, a lot of leaves in autumn, for example, when you have a lot of leaves that have fallen from the trees, it's very easy, because those leaves are very good and they are very wet, so it's a perfect environment for this type of animals, and the scolopendra is one of them. It's very easy for them to live right there. So you have to be careful and not put your feet inside this mountain of leaves, dry leaves, because scolopendra and many of these animals, they are poisonous. Okay, so you have to be careful. The body is really long and is divided in two parts. Okay, so we have a head, and then we have a thorax and abdomen that is going to be joined, fused, no? Fusionado, and we call it trunk. Okay, so we have a head and a trunk. What would you find in the head of a myriapod? You will find simple eyes. Okay, simple eyes that they don't see very properly. The sight is not the best of the senses. It has one pair of antennae for vibrations, right? And they have chewing mouth parts. Vale. Mandíbulas. to chew, to masticar, para masticar. Also, in the first segment, they can have poisonous glands. That's why I'm telling you that some of them, they are going to be poisonous, because as they are hunters, they are going to hunt and they're going to paralyze the prey with this poison, and then they are going to eat it. Okay? What do they hunt? They can hunt little mollusks like snails, spiders or arachnids, but also when they are really big, they can even hunt little birds, for example. So we are talking that they are great hunters, okay? And then you have a thorax and the trunk, no? And the thorax and abdomen are fused. It's divided in segments, okay? And they have 1 or 2 pairs of legs in each segment. In fact, the name of centipedes or millipedes is that they have a lot of legs, not 1,000. It can go between 15 to 180, something like that, legs, no? Never an even number, it's always odd. Maybe you can have 15 or 171. So never have, in fact, you're never going to have 100 or 1,000. It has to be an odd number. Okay? Impar. Número impar. Entre 15 y 181, 191, something like that. So this is basically what we have to study about arthropods and myriapods. I will put a video about them through a model, and that's it. So I will see you next day. Bye bye.